Boom, here we are, number 21 of Matt's Chats. And we're going international again. And a country which has a very special place to my heart, the Czech Republic, which my next guest is going to find out a little bit more about as we talk. But it's my great pleasure to introduce you a really, 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 really good front person of a band, which you're going to be hearing more and more about. If you don't know them already, The Agony, coming from the Czech Republic. Oh, they're coming to dominate the world. The release of their new album, which is coming, The Rising, which is coming on the end of April. You'll hear all about that. But it's my great pleasure to introduce the front person herself, the one and only Nikola Kandoussi. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Do you like the introduction?
Fantastic. Couldn't have done it better myself.
No, well, I nearly got you to do it. But I mean, first of all, I should say ahoy, dobry den.
Yeah, straight A.
Yeah, good. Not so bad. Really well. I did actually get married in the Czech Republic, in a place called Třinec, which is near Český Češin, up in the north of your country. And I do go over there quite regularly and drink copious amounts of Radagast, which is
Radagast. Wow, you're a specialist. That's fun. That's the eastern part of the country, right?
That's right.
Beskid Mountains and all this stuff. Yeah, I've got a part of the family there. So every time we go to the east, I just drink Radagast. Otherwise, it's a Pilsner for me.
Pilsner, yeah, Pilsner's good. I've been to visit that part of it. It's a wonderful country. The people are fantastic. I first went there when it was still part of Czechoslovakia. When I first went there. I've got a book out at the moment, which is telling all about my various exploits out there. And I have many a story to tell, but
wow, I wasn't even born yet when you were here for the first time.
Yeah, you made me feel old.
Yeah, I was born in 1993, so.
Wow. Anyway, we should move on. And more importantly, we're going to talk about The Agony. How did the band form?
Well, I just got the crazy idea of forming an all-female band all by myself when I was, 19, 20. I was in university. Freshly in Prague, because I grew up in a small town, and I got to Prague, which is the town of my birth, really. But anyway, I grew up in a small town and returned to the capital for university. I was studying journalism. And I was finally, wild, young and free and everything. And I said, well, now's the time. I'll just try to make my dream come true and form my own all-female band. So I just found the other girls, and I was very lucky. And then it just all happened. So 10 years ago.
It didn't know. It was like 2013, I think, was when you first started.
Correct, yeah.
Did a bit of research. But you're a four-piece, a quartet, really powerful. And for those of you who haven't, go straight on and check them out, theagony.cz, is it, or /.cz is your website? Something like that.
We even have an English version of it.
There you go, translation.
yeah, it's a dodgy translation, but yeah, we need to make the whole new English version of it. Everything's translated, but it's a lot of work. And anyway.
But you're underselling yourself, because you are an absolute tour de force. When I first heard of you, actually, because you came on with Girlschool, you actually guested as a guitarist on Girlschool tour in the year, to be honest with you. And I'd seen that's where I first, to be honest with you, first clocked heard a hold of you. And I just saw you came on stage, and I saw a version of you playing Bomber, because that's actually a track that's close to my heart, and I saw a version of that. Actually played it last week with my own band, and my son came on and played it with me, so that's always a close to me. But I did some looking, I did some research, and I started going through your material, and you've got some really powerful tracks. The track She Said, which I think you've actually got on the new album, which is coming out on The Rising.
Yeah.
That is an absolute stonker of a track. It really is. I mean, if you think about all the best female rock bands, all male rock bands that you've seen, all the way from the Runaways right through to Girlschool and to nowadays some of the bands that are coming through that are really powerful, all girls. You're right up there with all of them. You've got a really, really good sound, and you are a fantastic front person.
Thank you. That's very nice to hear. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I was growing up with all those bands, obviously Runaways, Girlschool, and so basically having these heroes and role models helped me a lot. But then I tried to make my own, really, and with all the experience, and my voice has matured a little bit, and my playing and everything. So, and songwriting mainly. But I like a good melody, you know, I like a good chorus and a good riff. And when it all comes together with the brilliant players I have in the band, then this just happens. So I'm really glad you like it.
No, definitely. I mean, and it's a very strong piece. I mean, you've got Martina on the drums. I saw that, and she has Domi on the bass, and then you have Petra on guitar as well. And as a four piece, you all gelled. You can see that from the way you get on with each other. And one of the most important things I think in any band is that you do get on with each other. But you know, I've had a few conversations with quite a few female performers over here, really strong. I'm saying there is a really great, strong feminine presence now that there's never really been as strong as this in the rock world at the moment. And it's great. You know, I think it's about time that the industry sort of woke up to the idea that, you know, women in rock, not just they're here.
The thing is, you know, I just don't know. It's better. It seems to be better in the UK in general, and obviously there's a great bands emerging in American places. But here in this country, when we first started out, I expected many more girls to start playing as well. And that hasn't really happened because for some reason, even 10 years after we first came together, I still can see the same 5, 6 bands, and no one new is basically, is, you know, I haven't really seen anyone new emerging. And but I think that's been the same for the bands before us as well. It's just it tends to happen in a slow, you know, kind of fashion to me. So yeah, let's see. But it's great that girls are starting to play really. Many more female musicians, however, in pop music and you know, the singer-songwriter genre. It seems to be for some reason harder to start playing rock and roll. Just girls, I think, just generally don't think in the first place that they want to do it. I don't know why. So that's why I basically, what I like to do, and I like to think I do, is to set an example and basically, you know, so they can look at me or look at a band and the other bands and say, okay, we want to do this as well, because that's what happened to me in the first place when I was 14. So just carry on the torch, so to speak.
But it comes out of the power and the aggression of everything you've been through. I mean, your label come out as you know, as ass kicking, you know, beer loving bunch of girls who want to rock, and that's it. And it comes across the sort of fire and gasoline, and I love that. But you got tracks, some of the tracks, just what I needed. 6, 8. I think it was another track I heard when I was listening to yesterday. Yeah, just what I needed was one. But from the very start, I think "Dirty and Dangerous" was your first. Was that your first EP or your first?
That was the first album. That was the first LP, really.
Yeah. But the aggression from those days and the tough times, I can only imagine how tough it was when you started. It was interesting. I during the summer I went to Jablunkov. There's a place up there called the Rock Cafe, and I
played there.
You know it? You played there, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I saw Up Front. They're a band, very good. They got a girl front singer, and they were supporting Lena Scissorhands and Infected Rain. And it was good to see two female fronted bands really going for it in front of a largely male audience. I have to say, a very large, but holding their own, and both two very strong front performers. And you've got that about yourself from the footage I've seen. I'm really excited to come and see you. I mean, and you're coming to the UK.
Yes, we are actually. Last week of August. So far, as far as I know, we've got the 24th of August in Newcastle, 25th in no, sorry. Hang on, I'll just have to look at a calendar, man.
We can get people to do that. Some of my
it's just better than to give you wrong information, you know. So hang on, let me see my calendar. Yeah, so that's 23rd of August. It's Wednesday in Newcastle, 24th in Hartlepool, and 25th in Leicester. So far, we're looking to book Monday and Tuesday as well, 21st and 22nd, but it's still to be confirmed. So watch this space.
Watch the space. We'll have to do. Now the album's released when? At the end of April? What date's it released?
27th of April. And there's a reason for it. Obviously, the global release day on Spotify and places is every Friday on 28th. Okay. But we decided not to go with that because it's exactly on the 27th, 10 years since we first formed the band.
Wow.
So I said, screw the global release day. Let's just do it one day earlier, you know. Just
I like this.
Yeah, from the symbolic reason, yeah.
You're saying all the right things. You know, I mean, this is it. 10 years in 10 years. Has it been the same lineup for all 10 years? The same four
Oh
girls?
no, 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 no.
No, go on.
There's been changes, and very honestly, from the very first original lineup, I'm the only one remaining. So basically, my drummer Martina, she's been with me since 2015. So she's another very stable member. And then the bassist and lead guitarist, Tommy and Petra, they've only been with us for a year, because after 8 years of playing together, the previous two members decided to leave the band. And it was actually the only time where I considered to split up really and end things. But then we decided not to and try the luck and search for the new girls. And it happened. And we're really lucky. And we've got two amazing ladies who just fit in the band perfectly. They are fantastic musicians, great sense of humor. And like you said, the most important thing really is to get along, because what's the purpose if you hate each other, if you can't stand being in a room with each other, you just do it for fun. We have daily jobs, so why spend the free time with someone you don't like?
Exactly that. And you're all about, is that the same thing? And the joy that you get from performing is very clear. There's a lot of fun in your videos, which I like as well. And just from an outsider's point of view, seeing it and feeling. I noticed you've got a Kiss picture on the wall behind you. So you obviously, you're. I noticed. I'll pick everything up. There's very much Beth Blade, who Beth Blade Madonna get cancer chat.
Yeah. I know Beth. Yeah.
She's a child of Kiss.
Yeah, we know each other. Just when I met Kiss in 2017, and I have to actually say that I got a meet and greet when Kiss were playing in Brno. Obviously, Brno.
Yeah, Brno.
And they were playing here, and I got a meet and greet package, and I got to meet the whole band, and they were playing the special unplugged, version of the songs, and I got to kiss Paul Stanley, which happens to be one of the highlights of my life. So,
wow, well,
yeah,
that's something to live up to, guys. Nikola has kissed Paul Stanley. That is a hell of an accolade.
And I have had a shower since then, so I think that's a good thing.
You're selling it well. Listen, I've been to the Czech Republic. I know. I remember what it was like in the dark days. But as I said, since you've come since you've come sort of to the front, and you got more confident with whatever you're doing, you've supported some pretty big bands, haven't you? Tell us about some of the bands you've supported.
Loudness, Blaze Bailey, the ex-Iron Maiden singer.
Yeah,
Mike Turana, the drummer from Mastodon and stuff, a really good drummer. And obviously Girlschool and Scorpions.
Scorpions. I mean,
from Germany. I don't know if you know them.
Oh yeah, I've heard them once or twice. Yeah, Klaus.
Yeah, quite decent, I'd say.
Well, you should. There's a great video you've got of you playing a stadium. I don't know where it is, or you walk out on the stage in that classic sort of dream, that classic photograph of four girls together, like you probably had when you first started out, and you've done that. And I've briefly gone through a little few snippets, and being a bit connected like I am, and had to listen to some of your tracks from the forthcoming album. And I can honestly say that there isn't a duff track on there. They're all really strong. It's a really powerful album. And I think it's going to put you out there, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this interview, was because I wanted to be here now. Because I think within about 6 months' time, you won't have time for people like me. You'll be far away enough,
Let's see about that. Yeah, let's get in touch in 6 months and I'll tell
you. When I come out to the Czech Republic, I'm coming out there in August.
You said in August, right? So let this be a public invitation, right? I'm taking you out for a beer, okay?
Wow. Oh, that's going to be fun. Listen, I put about this in my book. When I first went to the Czech Republic, I thought I could handle my drink. I thought I had a bit of reputation. I knew nothing.
Wait. I mean, obviously, you're from Britain, so yeah, it's better than some of the other nations, I'd say. But
I mean, I've got Irish blood in me. My two best friends were Scottish, but I went out to the Czech Republic and Poland, and honestly, it was different gravy. People made their own little hooch, like do you want to try some honey vodka, Matthew? Yeah, and you take the stuff, it was like brown, and it would go down, and you wake up next morning. I was actually in the Millennium when the Millennium went, and I was in Prague. And I found a bar called Uzi Rock Tequila, and I went in there and I was taking absinthe, and I don't remember anything of the evening. I do not remember coming home. I don't know how I got home. I remember nothing of the night. but people tell me stories and send me photographs, and I just deny it was me. But it was a hell of an experience.
Now the question is, had you been mixing? Because that would be quite a beginner's kind of mistake. Yeah, let's see if you can do better in August.
All right. Well, under your stewardship, I will do my very, very best. I'll give you the
Let
exact
me
date.
tell you, being nearly 30, I'm not as good as I used to be once, but
you're but a youngster. You're but a
no,
youngster.
still, now it takes me a day to recover fully. It's quite a wasted time, so I don't go mad very often. I think I will do that because we have a gig, the 10th anniversary gig and the album launch gig on the 4th of May. And thankfully, I decided to take a day off the day after of work. So yeah, I think that's going to be quite wild.
I can believe that. But you guys don't stop. I mean, you guys don't stop. I mean, I've never been in a country where you think the evening's ended. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're thinking, "For everyone's going away." No, we're just starting now, and that's so evening starts at 3 in the morning, and off you go.
I don't know. I think the mentality of this country is not exactly how late or until which hours you are partying to, but it's the consistency. You drink, every day, not much, but a beer here, 2 beers there, and all of a sudden you end up thinking, when was the last day I actually had no drink, no alcohol at all? Because it's just the beer is just such a part of the mentality of the nation. Everybody drinks beer or wine if you happen to be in Moravia pretty much every day. So, they don't get wasted. It's just consistent.
Don't listen to a word she's saying. I've been out there; they're crazy. Anyway, the wonderful thing about country is the friendliness, but the passion, and it comes out of the concerts that people really let themselves go. And I've gigged out there a few times, and I've loved every time I've done it. And Praying Mantis, a band you probably know as well, they go out there a lot, and they love it. Andy, a friend of mine, and they love it because of the audience reaction. They just totally give themselves to the band, and I think when a lot of bands, certainly from here, go out there, they really enjoy that, and I think it's testament to you. But for you coming the other way, it'd be nice to get a few people out to come and see you guys. So this is what I wanted to do: is I want people to come and see you and see the power, the energy that you give. Your vocals are fantastic, raucous vocals. Really powerful front with attitude, and I love that. And I think it's something that when I was younger, I said you had the Runaways, you had the Girlschool, and Rock Goddess I got to know as well, and bands like that.
Yeah.
But
I love
now it's so powerful, and I think you're going to do really well with this album. It's really going to it's going to do well for you. It's going to put you on the map. Hopefully, you can get those other 2 dates sorted, the Monday and the Tuesday.
Yeah. I really wish we get those dates as well. Funnily enough, what you say about British bands coming here and being all excited about the audience reaction, it's exactly the other way around for us. Because when we play here, since we sing in English, and many people here, the rock fans, they actually prefer the bands to sing in Czech, and there tends to be this whole language kind of barrier we can't seem to break because people here don't understand us. Because not all of them speak English and everything. So sometimes, you just have people standing here with a pint in their hands going, okay,
right,
yeah. And then we go to England and Scotland places, and everyone, they just go mad. So it's the other way around for us, funnily enough.
It's interesting you say that, and you've touched on a topic I was actually just about to come on to. So, we are thinking a lot. We both posted the same Foo Fighters tracks at the same time. Actually, I took mine off because you did it, but we do think alike. We got in such touch with each other exactly at the same time. It's kind of we obviously have some kind of telepathy. The bit about the drinking,
apparently,
weird, isn't it? But what I felt was that when we used to watch Eurovision or something, we always felt like there was always this kind of well, English is the language, and we sort of almost mock people for singing a different language. But I actually prefer to hear bands singing in their own native tongue. Like, when Rammstein come over the first Ich Will, and you hear him singing and the powerfulness. And I think nowadays, with people being more educated towards that front, Brexit aside, that feeling of listening to somebody actually say what they feel in their own language is a more natural feel. And I think people have got to get over themselves. It shouldn't have to be sung in English. If a song is written in Czech, or it feels more comfortable for you from the heart or from the gut or whatever to sing in your native tongue, you should do it. I really think that. I really feel that.
That's the thing is, for me, at least personally, it doesn't work that way for me in Czech. I just prefer English all the way.
Yeah.
And I just keep joking every time, you know, that the reason why we sing in English is that I don't want my mother to understand what I'm saying. And, you know, every time she comes to a gig and she said, you know, after every song, I keep clapping and cheering on you. Even if you were singing a song about me being a complete cow or whatever, I'd still be clapping because I don't understand. And I said, Mom, you know, just be happy that you don't understand what I'm singing, because most of it is really naughty stuff.
I know.
And
I like you lyrics. I quite naughty. I mean, the horse song was one of your first tracks that you wrote. I think it was on the Loud and Furious. Was that an EP that you did? The first one, Loud and Furious. Yeah. And yeah, a song called the horse. I was looking at the horse song. Give it to me. Or was it another one you was called? Or did
yeah,
I
Give
just
It
make
to
that
Me
up?
is of the first album. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all these
See,
sort
I'm
of
telling
songs.
you, naughty stuff. But anyway, the thing for me is that I can just express myself better. I just also English is far more singable for me, if you know what I mean. Sorry, Czech is a very hard language, and I express myself much more in English because I can just think more abstractly, and I can just put my heart on my sleeve, if you know what I mean.
That's interesting. And do you know, I find that fascinating. I mean, I don't know what the horse song is in Czech. I do know one thing. I spent my 4th wedding anniversary in a brothel. I do know that. It doubled up as a restaurant. There's a story behind that, which I liked it when I first came. That kind of when the Czech Republic first became like kind of out of communism or out of control, there was still that kind of old ethos of it didn't really matter and everyone was equal. Everyone was still had that same kind of things, you know. Oh, she's a prostitute. Is she? Yes, that's her job. Oh, you know, the same with someone be a lawyer or a doctor. It was not frowned upon. That was her job, and you know, and all power to her for that. And obviously, I didn't realise that's where I was eating my wedding anniversary until one of the waitresses leant over a little bit too much, and I realised actually where I was. But it's a great story.
I mean, you just have to love the city, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I very much so. Yes. I love the whole country, and that's why I keep going back. And I'm hoping to go. When do you set off your tour? So we can make, because I want to know when I'm flying into Prague. It'll be that date.
Right. Yes. Okay. So we are setting a date here, right in front of the audience.
We are setting a date. We are actually.
Yeah. Hang on. I think we should be flying over on 20th. So, and on the 19th we have a gig here in this country. So, yeah. I mean, before and after that,
we're looking at the first week in August is what we're looking at.
Yeah, that's fine. I should be around.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk. We don't have to tell the viewers when we're there, but there's going to be one hell of a night, and I'll probably post the pictures afterwards, the ones I remember anyway.
Yeah, and obviously everyone is welcome to come over, you know. So
it's an open invite. But listen,
yeah, if you're watching, just come over.
Just come on over. It's gonna be. I tell you, the whole of Prague's going to turn up. I want to bring Ransom out there anyway. I'll come and bring the band out. We'll come and support you out in one of your local backyards. That'd be good. Right. So we've got the album coming out on April the 27th. Did we establish that? That's the date's coming out.
Correct.
It's called The Rising, or just Rising.
Rising. Yeah.
Rising. Is there any meaning for you personally for that?
Oh yeah, that's a backstory. Yeah. Just you know, with everything that was going on with COVID and stuff, and what happened to us, you know, after 8 years, losing basically half of the band from one day to another. Wow. That came a point when I was thinking, you know, do we still want to do this, or should we just end it? And I think the whole point of Rising as a title and the whole philosophy behind the songs and the power of those songs is that in that moment we decided to keep fighting.
Yeah.
And, you know, 6 months after the girls left and everything changed, 6 months after, we were standing at O2 Arena in front of 17,000 people supporting Scorpions with a new lineup and everything. And that, for me, that was a moment when I was like, okay, so the risk really was worth it. And we did the right thing by sticking around. And then the media, everyone was saying, you know, you rose like a phoenix from the ashes, you know.
There we go.
So that's the Rising thing.
I love it. I love the story. I love it. I saw the pictures. I love it. I just think that's what it's about. I'm still the 13-year-old kid that picked up his guitar, and I'm having the best time of my life at the moment playing, and I'm loving it. It's just you know, music is its own reward, but it's so nice when you can actually get somewhere, make decisions which at the time feel really difficult, and you find yourself in a place, an exalted place. And you're going to go higher. You're going to go higher. People are going to see this interview. They're going to want to find out. They're going to Google all about you, and they're going to listen to your music, and they're going to realize how good you really are. And a lot of people were saying when you came on stage, and I'm sure Jackie would say the same thing, when you came on with Girlschool, it was really impressive. You know, you could see you had something about you, and your band is great. I can't say enough nice things about it. I'm already excited about the album release. I'm quite excited about meeting you for a drink in Prague.
Yeah, well, you're gonna make me big-headed, with
That's
all
the
of those
idea.
compliments and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, full of those.
but I have to say, the Girlschool tour really helped. In all honesty, we probably wouldn't be here talking to each other if I, didn't go and play with Girlschool. That's the thing.
Well, no, I think the chat on Facebook probably had something to do with it as well. But I do think that they are pioneers. They're great. From Kelly right the way through from when I first saw them in Denise. The first time I saw Girlschool years ago. I've actually got a program in there. I've got tell Jacks from.
Oh, wow.
I won in the competition of one of their first tours. I used to rehearse next door to them and Motorhead, and back in the days when I was really shy and retiring and not really confident at all. But I remember those days, and I remember listening to the power and just thinking how cool. And the fact they're still going now, and the fact that it's inspired people like you and a whole generation of younger people to come forward and just let go. And the fact that the industry now, because of social media, anybody now can get their message out there and just do what they want to do and believe in themselves. And you're believing in your dream, and your dream is happening. And it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you today. What are you up to tonight? Anything exciting?
Yeah, well, after I'm done talking to you, I'm actually taking my dog out for a walk, and then I'm going to rehearsal because we need to rehearse for the album launch. So, wow. Yeah, it's these are exciting times, man.
They will be. Well, not as exciting as when we meet up in Prague. I tell you, that'll be exciting. But yeah, that is on. Okay. Nikola, listen, have a lovely evening. Best of luck with everything. Give my love to the girls. They are a fantastic band. Everybody out there, check out The Agony. Go online, check them out on Spotify. The album The Rising coming out April 27th, and they're coming to these shores at the end of August. And believe you want to catch these girls live. They are good. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.